My name is Ryan Stewart, and this is my mock lesson for Breakthrough 2012. And so I'm differentiating between primary and secondary sources, and we're jumping in towards the beginning of the lesson. All right. Now class, we've already gone over the definitions of a primary and secondary source. Can anyone remind me of our objective today?
To be able to differentiate between primary and secondary sources.
And good, thanks Sarah. And what does differentiate mean? Annie?
To tell which one's which.
Good. Now, we've already gone over the definitions, and now I need you to tell me what is one key difference between the two types of sources. Tom?
Whether or not the author experienced or witnessed or participated in the event.
Good, that's good. And it's a primary source when the author did do those things, and it's a secondary source when the author did not do those things. So now we know the definition and that the key difference in our head, but now we have to see if we can actually do it. To find out, we're going to look at some sources and see if we can identify them as primary or secondary. You guys ready?
Yeah!
All right. Figuring out whether it is a primary or secondary source involves 4 steps. Each step is in the form of a question. The answers to these questions will help us tell whether this is a primary or secondary source. Sarah, can you read the first source?
Sure. Dear Mommy, Daddy and I went to the park yesterday. It was very sunny and warm. We played on the monkey bars and on the swings. But later, I slipped and fell on the sidewalk. I skinned my knee. It hurt very badly. But Daddy put a Band-Aid on it and kissed it. I feel better now. Love, Sally.
Good. Thanks, Sarah. Now, the first step is identifying the event. Can we identify the event to which the source refers?
Yeah. It refers to Sally skinning her knee.
Good. Thanks, Sarah. That's the event, skinning the knee. Now, the second step is the location or time of the event. Can we identify when and where the event takes place? Annie?
It's at the park, right?
Yeah, it's at the park.
Yesterday.
Good. And from her perspective, it's on yesterday. Now, the third step is the author. Can we tell who the author of this source is?
Yeah, it's Sally, I guess, because she signed the letter, Love, Sally.
Good job. That's right. We can tell the author's Sally. Now, after these 3 steps, we can move to the 4th and final step you see on your worksheet. Can we tell if the author was there when the event took place? Or, in other words, did the author experience, witness, or participate in the event?
Yeah, because Sally's the one who skinned her knee. She says, I skinned my knee.
Good.
It hurt.
Yeah, so we can tell the author is there. That's good. Anything else?
Yeah, we can also tell that Sally was at the event because she says in the source things like, I went to the park yesterday.
Good, great job. So, because we can tell that the author was there at the event when it took place, what kind of source do you think this is?
Primary.
Primary, good. All right, now let's move on to the second source. Can you read the second source for me, Tom?
Yeah. Last Friday, while I was at work, Sally skinned her knee at the park. After reading Sally's letter about the experience, it is clear that she will not have trouble healing. At the end of her letter, she said, I feel better now. This shows that her injury was minor. Actually, Sally probably enjoyed her time at the park with her dad on Friday. She might not even remember skinning her knee.
All right, now let's apply these 4 steps to this new source. What's the first step?
It's the same one, I think. Yeah, Sally's skinning her knee.
Yeah, we identify the event and it's the same event in this case, a skinned knee. All right, and what's the second step?
Can we identify when and where the event takes place? And
Good.
We can.
We can, all right.
Yeah. It's also at the park.
Okay.
And it says last Friday.
All right, and from this person's perspective, it was on last Friday. All right, and what's the third step?
Well, we're trying to figure out who the author is.
Good.
And we can't really in this instance.
Okay, we can't. So, can we tell who the author is not?
Well, since the source talks about Sally and her dad, can't we tell that the author isn't either of those?
Okay, good. So it's not Sally, and it's not the dad. Is there anything else we can tell about the author? Annie?
Could it be the mom?
Yeah, it could be the mom. We're not sure, but that's a possibility. Good job, Annie. All right, now let's move to our 4th and final step, which, can somebody read the question for me?
Was the author there when the event took place?
All right, and can we tell the answer to that question?
Well, we know that the author was not there because the author says that he or she learned about the event from Sally's letter.
Good. Thanks, Tom. Now, this tells us that the author of the source did not witness the event. We can tell that they weren't there and they didn't witness the event. Is there anything else we can tell that helps us answer this question?
I don't think so. I don't know.
Okay. Sarah, do you have anything?
Well, because Sally's the one who skinned her knee, and the author's not Sally, we can say that the author did not experience the event.
Good. Now, since the event is skinning the knee, and the author didn't actually skin their knee, we can say that they didn't experience it. So they didn't witness it, and they didn't experience it. So do you think so can we say that the author was not there?
Yeah.
Okay, so if the author wasn't there, would we say this is a primary or a secondary source?
Secondary.
Secondary. Great job, guys. All right, in the future, we're going to be looking at sources that might not have all four of these steps right there in the text. When we start examining real historical documents for the rest of the lesson, these steps might get a little bit harder. But when you approach each document, make sure to look for these steps first, and then you can go on to this question of asking, was the author there when the event took place? And that'll help you differentiate between primary and secondary sources. That was my lesson, and this is my cheer on making a timeline. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our timeline cheer. Timelines, they're so fun. Just these steps, then you're done. Step 1, time for time. We start with our total time slate. First comes a start date, then comes the end date. Timelines, they're so fun. Just these steps, then you're done. Step 2, choose them. Find the important events. Pick the ones with the most significance. Timelines, they're so fun. Just these steps, then you're done. Step 3, snapshot. A short description is all we need. And be clear so it's easy to read. Timelines, they're so fun. Just these steps, then you're done. Step 4, sequence. Order the events according to date and make sure the late ones come late. Timelines, they're so fun. Just these steps, then we're done. Step 5, double check. Is it clear? Now just the facts. And are the dates in order, first through last? You got 2 yeses? Then that's a wrap. Timelines, they're so fun. Just these steps, then we're done.